T-minus 30 seconds. T-minus 20 seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Trap Talk Reptile Network, coolest reptile network in the world, episode 492. Monday night's new breed on the block. We got WhiteHart Reptiles in the building. What is good? I'm your boy MJ. Hope you're having a great day. Good old Mondays, right? Gotta love them. But yeah, man, it's all about the up and coming here in the reptile game. Mainly the ball python game, not gonna lie. But listen, if you're into keeping ball pythons, reptiles, this is the podcast to be associated with. Make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. Select all. You'll be reminded of every single episode dropped here under the Trap Talk Reptile Network. You can listen to any Trap Talk Reptile Network episode on all the major audio platforms: Buzzsprout, Apple, Spotify, all the major ones, man. And thank you wherever you listen to this network. Really means a lot. Network's been going well 6 days a week. All right, so 6 days a week, Monday through Saturday, you can catch a live here. Okay, so thank you for a lot of support. Shout out to all the early birds, man. I love the live chats. Live chats are cracking. But you guys know it's all about supporting US ARC. Second link in the description below. Click on it. If you don't know what US ARC is, I'm helping you out right now. I'm throwing you a bone. Type in usarc.org. Understand the importance of supporting an organization such as US ARC. If you're a keeper of the reptiles, this is who you need to be backing up. All right, and US ARC Florida. So please go check them out. If you're not a member, it's as low as $5 a month. Really, please consider it. Got to get these numbers up. It's ridiculous. Thank you to any US ARC supporter out there. It really means a lot. All right, I want to thank tonight's sponsor, all right, which is an awesome event happening this weekend. There are some heavy hitters in the reptile industry flying into SoCal for this event, and it's going down, like I said, this weekend, May 17th through the 19th in Anaheim, California at the Convention Center. Reptile Talks, like a symposium, but also like an event where you can kind of just listen to the best people doing it in the game and them give, breakdowns and lectures of what's been helping them and be successful. The mayor himself, Bill Stiegel, will be in the building. One of my best friends in the game, Socrates, is flying in from Florida, which is nuts. I'm not trying to take credit, but yes, I got these two to roll up. Thank you very much. But I cannot wait. I cannot wait to see these two guys and many other important speakers tap in for this show. All right, so go to thereptiletalks.com. All right, consider it, especially in the SoCal area, you have to pull up, man. Everything that this event gathers fund-wise goes straight to US ARC. All right, so this is a nonprofit event, and all proceeds go to US ARC, which is like, holy crap, really? So thank you, Jay Summers. Thank you, Rami. Thank you, Armin from Herptime, my guy. Those three guys came together and threw this event that's happening this weekend. So head over there if you can. I'm going to be there Saturday, 110%. All right, and also drop a comment if you're going. Drop a comment if you're excited to hear someone out of the list of speakers like I am. John from Sim Containers is coming. There's just a shit ton of people, man. So thank you to that sponsor, the Reptile Talks. Thank you, Rami, Jay Summers, and Herptime. Also, tonight's episode is brought to you by Mark Bailey Reptiles, the OG, the GOAT. Your favorite ball python breeder that you could think of got mentored by this guy. I'm just saying. Real recognized real. Mark Bailey Reptiles, one of the best, if not the best, doing it in the ball python game. All right, that's a trap certification there when I say that. So go to Mark Bailey Reptiles on Morph Market. Okay, things are just cracking off with his season. Last time I checked, so best way to follow his work because he doesn't do Instagram is just following his Morph Market. Mark Bailey Reptiles. All right. Thank you, Mark Bailey. See you in a few weeks. I don't know. See you soon, buddy. But for now, guys, Mark Bailey Reptiles on Morph Market. Check them out. Also, tonight's episode is brought to you by Clutch, #1 ball python organization app in the game. Look fresh, look cutting edge, look like you're doing it correctly. All right, organization's key, especially if you're flossing it with somebody. Let's be honest. Most relationships that are made in the ball python game are made via internet. All right, share a link, share a Clutch link, show them what you got going on. All right, it's gonna make you look good. All right, I mean, this is a lot for people who are coming in and growing their collection. You know, maybe if you are not on the organization strength side of things, like, you know, I'm organized, but I could definitely use help sometimes. Something like Clutch would be just amazing. All right. So you're on top of it now. Don't wait. Thank you, Clutch team. All right. Sebastian, Justin, anyone out there associated with Clutch, thank you so much. It means a lot. Also, tonight's episode is brought to you by the Chipper. #1 substrate in the game. Everything you see behind me, my focus cube habitats, my emerald tree boas, my green tree pythons, perched over some amazing COCO chip by the Chipper. Go to COCODO.com. All right. My favorite is the COCO to go. I don't know how many pounds I have left of it, probably about 600. But man, I love it. Can't get enough of it. It's fresh. It's already broken down. Holds humidity like a champ. And I fight humidity. The reason why I jock this company so much is because they are saving me with so many stuck sheds. And it's not cool dealing with stuck sheds on emerald tree boas and green tree pythons all the time. That's how you get lit. Not lit in a good way. I'll tell you what's lit. Big E, Top G, Emilio, Villarito, Reptiles. What's up, big dog?
What's up? What's up?
How are you?
You got a slight echo.
I have a slight echo.
Yeah, they've been saying it in the chat.
A slight echo? Did you ever hear an echo when I was? Everyone's saying there's an echo? Is there still an echo, guys? Or are you guys trolling Emilio? Yes, it's echoing or sounds off. Check. Let me see what they say. Check. You're fine, man. Thank you. I know. Dude, you know what? Don't listen to the people out there, bro. They say, I listen just fine. I mean, I don't listen. I sound just fine. What's good, though? How you living?
I'm good, man. Off a freaking show.
Happy Monday.
Happy Monday. Off a freaking show on Mother's Day weekend. I was a little bothered by having to do a show on that weekend, but we did great. So
were you with wifey? Was Liz with you? There you go. That's all that matters.
Yeah, but I mean, you'd think that they wouldn't pick that weekend for a show, but you know, it is what it is.
They're gonna, it's a reptile show, man. They want to make their money. You know what I mean? So, how was it turn out overall?
It was good, better than expected. I went into the show saying to myself, man, whoever shows up here on a Sunday, Mother's Day, is hardcore into reptiles. And let me tell you, a lot of people.
Listen, I got to stop you right now. They're right. They're right. They were right. Shout out to Dale. Let me fix this first. Oh my God. Now how do I sound? Is that better?
Yeah.
Damn. Bro, why don't you say, okay, Emilio, time out on all this. We're going to coach together right now. Why? How could you not hear the difference during sound check? Like,
I didn't notice it.
Damn, but now I sound a lot better. I have to now, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I didn't notice it.
Dude, please, I love you because you're honestly like you've learned so much within less than a year of podcasting. But if you don't ever hear my voice like this during sound check, say MJ, there's something wrong with the sound.
I got
because now Joey D thinks he's so right now, and now he's gonna be fucking all the time. MJ, you know what? I'm just kidding. All right, cool. I'm glad. No, seriously, I've got a whole podcast sounding on, and the microphone was on my desktop. I've done a whole podcast like that, and then Cusco tells me after the fact, and I'm like, and I still don't learn my lessons sometimes. I always got to check if it resets. But all right,
you sound great. Yeah,
we're good. Thank you. $600 mic. I should sound like this, right?
Yeah.
But listen, tell me what were we talking about? I'm sorry, we got fucking. Talking about Mother's Day show. I'm sorry, just keep.
The people that showed up on Sunday, the hardcore reptile people, man, and they did.
Sales were all right.
Yeah.
Cool.
It was good.
Listen, mad people in the live chats, people who just corrected my mic, thank you so much. Really means a lot. But tap me in a little bit more about WhiteHart, all right? Because I definitely got to own a lot tonight. I'm going to own it with him on the screen, but I want to hear from you. What's good, man? Because from what I've seen so far, I like.
Yeah, well, I love Monsoon. He hit like 3 monsoons in a clutch this last season, and we all watch each other on social media, and we pay attention to what we're doing. He's got some heat. He was on my list. I asked him, hey man, you down? Let's go. You want to come on? And here we are. Impressive dude, man. I really don't know him. I'm gonna get to know him like you are.
All right. Well, I'm looking forward to it only because I know there's an excitement behind tonight's episode as far as certain projects, aka Monsoon. Right?
Yep.
You really like Monsoon, don't you?
I love it.
Well, listen, I'm excited. I want to say thanks to everyone. Because of my mic dilemma and I verted, I just want to say shout out to everyone in the live chats, but it is game time. Are you ready to bring on the homie Brian? Because I'm ready.
Let's go, man.
All right, listen, guys, if you're in the chat tonight, God bless you. Appreciate you being here. But it's that time to do what you got to do to get your mind right. Do what you got to do to stay hydrated. Episode 492, new breed on the block. WhiteHart Reptiles coming at you right now. Let's go.
Good.
You ready for do more in the future? Trap Talk podcasts?
Yes.
Man.
Only Trap Talk. Exclusive.
Yes.
Exclusive. Oh.
So stop calling us.
Rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the crop, gotta love it or not. I'm hot from the hop to the rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with everybody, we do it. Everybody, we do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up.
And we're live, episode 492. Brian, WhiteHart Reptiles in the building. What is good, Brian?
Hey, not much, man. How you doing, MJ? What's up, Emilio?
It's good.
What's up, man?
So you guys never met personally like this before. This is the first time.
Nice to meet you.
Great to meet you.
Sick. And where you from, bro?
To who?
What was that? Was that me? Oh, what's going on? Can you hear me, Brian?
I can hear you, yeah.
Okay. Fuck, that was weird. Where you from, dude?
I grew up in Pennsylvania. I live south of Houston, Texas now.
You're from Texas. Well,
Not living
you live in
12
you live
years.
in Texas. 12
Out of
years.
Texas, yes, sir.
Dang. That's kind of a change, huh? PA to Texas.
Yeah, a big change.
Yeah, I lived in both states before, so that's why I kind of know. My mom's side of the family's from back east, but I lived in Texas for 9 months. I lived in Tyler, Texas, Longview, which is kind of hicky, like for sure.
Right.
I think
Yeah.
they called it the Bible Belt or something, and like I think Sundays you couldn't even get alcohol or some shit. It was weird. It was fucking. But then everybody in my town or whatever I lived in drank every day. They were alcoholics, so it was like it's kind of weird. that
There's
they
not
would
much to do out in East Texas.
So did everything grow for you reptile wise and like the love of as far as what you're doing now in Texas? Is that when it started?
Yeah, I kept ball pythons in Pennsylvania in like 2009, 10, 11, 12, and then got out for a little bit and moved in 2012 to Texas. And then I got back in down here in Houston in 2019.
I like your logo. And you know, you do kind of have a lot going on. Like, I'm not a big fan of logos that have a lot going on, but the thing is, I could see detail of your snakes, and that's if you are gonna put a bunch of stuff, like at least like let it be noticeable, like so people could look at it and see, like, okay, that's a there's a clown, like I can see what's on your shirt. But you got other people who do shit that's like Medusa snakes and shit like that. And you're like, what? Like, you know what I mean? So I will say props to your logo because it looks like you did put effort into it and it looks clean. But when did that come into like, all right, I got to get myself a brand. I need to start branding my shit. Like, when did that start happening?
Yeah, I started off BBL Reptiles because that's my initials. And I think I changed in like late 2020, 2021.
Okay.
And then with the logo, you know, I met this girl, an artist on Instagram that I saw that she had created some awesome logos within the industry. And I reached out. She lives in Portugal. She was unavailable for commissions. She hit me up about a year later and said she was available. And then I sent her actually some pictures of different morphs that I aspired to create. And so the 5 snakes in the logo are morphs that I've either created or wanted to make.
Yeah, that's sick. And I mean, that's like, you know how many people hit you up for logos on Instagram, and they all look like fucking scams. But you never know. You might be dealing with someone who's actually legit and knows their shit. How did you vet her, or how did you know this person was? Because other people obviously was telling you how that worked.
Someone shared a post from this crested gecko breeder, something like that, and I saw the post. There was a logo post of a new logo, and it just blew me away. It was like, I think it was crested geckos with like a skull, like helmet on with like a spear. And there was 2 of them, and it was just really, really well done. And then I checked her page out, and all of her artwork was top notch.
Dang. So speaking of top notch, I was telling Emilio, like, fucking Monsoon, definitely a top notch up and coming gene for sure, because it's so untapped. And we'll talk deeply about that. But when did stuff as far as investment projects start kicking off for you? Was this after you became a brand, or is this before? Did you already start picking up heat before the brand?
Definitely learned. Like most people, I bought a lot of things that I probably shouldn't have. Looking back, hindsight's 2020. But the Monsoon came. Probably I got my first my breeder pair in late 2021, early 2022. That's when I got into that project.
And how did you start with the Monsoon project?
Yeah, I bought a pair. That was originally purchased from Dave Green, a female ready to breed Het Monsoon and a male ready to breed Phantom Monsoon. There were 2017s that were unproven, and then it's pretty crazy because within 10 months she laid a 10 egg clutch, and then I hit 3 Monsoons from that, and then they bred last season, and I hit 4.
Wow, that's amazing odds, man.
Yeah.
4 out of what now?
11 the second clutch, but 9 made it to full term.
So how many? I'm sorry, one more time. How many did you lose out of that clutch?
Yeah, 21 eggs total between the 2 seasons. 10 the first season, all hatched. 3 were visuals. Second season, there's 11, 9 hatched, and there were 4 visuals. I did pair the male Monsoon. I hit season 1 with her, and he got a lock in late, and so he was a Phantom Monsoon, and I'd also bred a Phantom Het Monsoon. So I'm unsure which one took it, but the second season 4 were produced. That was season 1.
So so the one that's not as bright is the regular Monsoon, I'm assuming.
Yes, sir. Correct.
Now these are a lot bigger now, I'm assuming. Obviously, this about two years ago, just shy of 2 years, right?
Yeah, I kept the 1.1 from that, and I sold a female.
Keep it a buck with me, Brian. How do they look now compared to this? Like, what would you? Can you whip one out, maybe?
Yeah, I can get a male out real quick.
All right.
So I'll get a boy out.
Let's see what Monsoon. I know it's kind of via camera. He doesn't have like a fucking goddamn movie camera to show us, to show from. But we'll see. Let's see.
So the light's not that good. Let me see.
I mean, what matters the most is the pattern that I see. I see all that pattern really easily. I don't see anything washed out. What do you think, Emilio?
Yeah, looks good. Which one is that? That's the Monsoon, regular Monsoon without Phantom?
This is a Phantom Monsoon. I kept 1.1 Phantom Monsoon from 2 seasons ago, and this past season I hit 3.1, and I kept the female.
That's nice. That's right. That's nice, especially if Phantom brightened that snake up to begin with, and it still looks that good.
It does.
Respect. How's the other regular Monsoon look? Did you get rid of that one, or do you have it? I'm just curious. Yeah, I'm curious if that one actually looks better. You know what I mean? Because it doesn't have Phantom. Not that Phantom's out of
Yeah, this is a female.
Let's see.
This one's from this season, so it's not as big.
I mean, yeah, sick.
A little bit darker. I kept last season. They're both Phantom Monsoons. 1.1 Phantom Monsoons.
Dude, that's sick. For a bait, like if you compare that to a clown, look how ugly clowns get. Obviously, as like that's why they're the new normal now, because they're just being made so much, and they're not pretty. Obviously, as they're adults, that's good. I think that's kind of like how adult DG looks good. Like have you ever seen adult DG and you're just like, wow, or adult hypo? Like that right there gets to get put on the list of good looking recessives as they get older. That's huge.
I agree. And I think visually I like the normal Monsoon more so than the Phantom, just because the color's a little bit more rich, kind of a more ember honey color to it, where the Phantom's just lighter.
I wasn't even trying to go there, but that is a really good point. I will say.
Yeah.
I mean, anyways,
my favorite, without a doubt, so far, and it could be simple to some. My favorite is Mojave Monsoon.
Okay.
Yeah, that thing is the pattern, that little granity rich color it has inside the pattern. That thing's unbeatable in my view.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Now, we don't want a super pastel Monsoon, right? Obviously, that's like one thing we know we don't want to put into Monsoon. So what are some things that you are looking forward to putting in your Monsoon, and what are some things you wouldn't put in your Monsoon if you could kind of like...
Yeah, I'd never put pastel at all in Monsoon. It kind of just washes it out completely, takes the pattern away. I've seen some stranger Monsoons, and it kind of just also washes the pattern out. I don't really like that. You'd ask like kind of what direction I'm going with it.
Right.
I'm working a Monsoon puzzle this season. I'm going for double hets. Going Xanthic Pied would be cool. Enchi Hypo Clown. I really like if you follow Dave Green on Facebook, he's the Enchi Monsoon and combos with Enchi and Monsoon are great because it's kind of expanded the pattern. It's not as close together. It's blown up kind of that pattern. Which is promising. And so I've got a breeder Enchi Hypo Clown female that I'm taking the Phantom Monsoon to this season.
Yeah, because remind me from what I understand, and I don't want to say this without making sure I'm saying it right, Emilio, because I've seen Mojave Monsoons that just look fucking ridiculous. Now, that pattern isn't getting broken up. It just gets amplified because of Mojave, right? Is that what makes it look so amazing as far as the Mojave, in combination with Monsoon?
Yeah. It gets like in the crevices, kind of, right, Brian? Is that what you see with the Mojave Monsoon? It makes it like deeper. It gets into every crack and crevice. That gold.
Yeah, I'd say the gold is a good way to put it. It's just brighter, lighter.
Yeah.
In between the pixelate or in between the pattern.
Yeah, a leopard Monsoon too. I'm sorry, go ahead, Emilio.
I can't wait to see where you're going. When you hit that those Monsoon puzzles, that's gonna be super dope. That's gonna be
interesting. I mean, because that could kind of go either way, right?
Either way, no clue. Hopefully, I can be the first or one of the first to find out.
Yeah, and I hate to say it, I'm gonna say it. Anyone that hits a Sunset Monsoon, that it's risky, but man, that shit might be crazy too. I mean, we'll see.
Probably not, but it might.
Probably not.
I mean, hey, it's easy. Guys, it's easy to just add color, like amazing color and brightening effects of the Monsoon, right? Kudos to you for taking the puzzle route.
Just hit it first, and then we'll talk.
Yeah.
Emilio's probably working it right now. That's why he's talking this right now. I know.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. But
I mean, but listen, if the stars align, I guess. I mean, especially because it hasn't been made. So, I mean, because we've seen plenty of people make epic snakes as far as like what they hit that doesn't look so epic. You know what I mean? So everything's the foundation, right? I think either way, if you do Sunset Monsoon, there has to be something that could save that. If it's terrible,
some risk, bro.
It's gonna take
Brian?
Absolutely.
You got to take some risk.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not all roads to the promised land are just straight. Sometimes you got to fucking zigzag and shit.
But guys, I will say, I went safe with all my pairings to start with. Then next year I'll go with something risky. So
I mean, if you got it, you got it. Try it. I mean, that's kind of what makes this so. Like, how many risky things do you think other big relevant big dogs have done in this game? You know what I mean? It's kind of what you have to do. But it's like you just can't tell nobody. That's the thing. And it's so hard to do that because you got so many of us who are close with each other, and you're bound to have to spill the beans somehow, and that's really hard to do. But I gotta tell you, when you work something like that, you're better off not saying shit. That way, if it looks like shit, you could just because damn well that's what other people are doing for sure, 100%. Like, but I'm curious because puzzles also has been, it's been talked about a lot. Only good things about puzzle, but. What else do you think puzzle would want to be as far as a factor in your projects other than Monsoon?
Yeah. I mean, obviously DG, I've got a DG het puzzle. I've got a lot of like hypo het puzzle het hypo, females and males. And so I really want to just add as many tasteful codoms into that hypo DG puzzle project as I can. You know, I think clown puzzle, we don't know. I mean, there's been a couple made and I don't think they look the best, but I don't want to rule that out. So I'll have some pairings there as well for puzzle hypo clowns. They might be cool. But you got to take risks. Like you said, you never know until they come out of the egg.
So I was going to wait until Hypo was brought up, and now it's brought up. So, you know, I'm a big fan of Hypo, as we all know. Mio's a great fan of it too, you know. But there's others out there who've been working Hypo for a long time. And they believe that there are lines of Hypo, some not so great as others. What's your guys' thoughts on that? And do you feel like do you feel like you've already known that, you looked into that prior picking up your Hypo? And whoever wants to go first.
Go ahead, Brian.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree wholeheartedly that there's superior lines in Hypo, just like I would say there's superior lines in every gene out there. That's why it's so important to kind of, you know, only work with the best and buy the best so you can produce the best. But Hypo, I kind of slept on. I had actually Hypo back in 2009-10, a pair. Mojave had Hypo, basic stuff. You know, I was hyped to hit a Bumblebee and things like that back then. But like I didn't buy my first Hypo until maybe like 3 years after getting back in, maybe 2021. And I was more selective. I'd been in for a couple years. The industry had changed completely. And so it allowed me to be a little bit more focused and be patient with the animals that I purchased.
Brian said what we all did. Most of us, when we saw the price on Hypo and where it was, we kind of got rid of it. And now everybody's running back. What would you say to everyone ditching the names, Brian? Everyone ditched the butterscotch name. Everybody ditched
Enhancer.
You know, no, well, butterscotch, orange ghost.
Yeah.
I would say in the past, the best looking hypos were orange ghost.
Oh, you just meant in the Hypo, like,
yeah,
oh, that's
Hypo.
right. Because there's green Hypo too, right?
Yeah, there's yellow ghost. Back in the day, there was yellow ghost, butterscotch, orange ghost.
I haven't heard of any of those. Orange ghost, I like orange. I think orange ghost
is the best. In my view.
That thing's I have a little bit of that, and I'm telling you, it's really pretty.
A lot of people have it, but everyone dropped the name. Everyone dropped those names. It's just Hypo now. That's it. I mean, what would you say to that, Brian?
In terms of dropping the name, I mean, I get Hypo because it's hypomelanistic, but I mean, back when, you know, I had orange ghosts. I think that was, you know, what I went with. But if you want to, I don't know how to put it. It might add some. It might enhance your projects if you're working with a line that's more respected and, you know, more of a solid bloodline of orange ghost or something like that. But I call everything that I have personally, I just call Hypo. Yeah. I don't know if they came. I just went off looks. I have a lot of Hypo from Renee over in I think it was Germany, and so he's really well known for his Hypo, and so I like my line, and I think it's something that I'm obviously gonna stick with.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, everyone dumped the names or the classifications, I guess, or line names. Everyone pretty much dropped that. It's been a couple of years, maybe more.
Yeah. I think because like I have my very first snake, her name's Mercedes, the one that got me into all this. She's a pastel Mojave orange ghost, and I don't know, like I have other great looking Hypo stuff, and I just for whatever reason I could just see something different. Now it could be the pastel, it could be a lot of different factors, but for whatever reason I just thought that quality of orange ghost, if you really had it, was like something that stood out from what I could see, you know, and even being a noob, like being someone who couldn't really tell like the difference between the names, like knew that this orange ghost was something I could trust, you know. It looks great. But the thing is, now that I have things going, I created such a good line of Hypo that I'm happy with, but it was mixing good Hypo lines with orange ghost. So now I can't really say, like, I'm like what Emilio at this point is saying. I have to ditch the fucking, it's only going to confuse people at this point. You know what I mean? mainly noon people. And I think that's the only reason why I agree so heavily. Like, can we start fucking cutting out some of these fucking names? Is because we got to make things a little bit more simpler for people coming in, because there's a new name coming in every week. Holy shit. When's it going to end? When's it ever going to end?
It's going to end soon with shed testing. It's ending already, in my view.
Let's check out Brian's room. This is sick. I think it's awesome. How long have you had things at this level? I guess you could say, Brian.
I mean, it's much different now. That the rack we're looking at now is like 12 high. The one to the left is 12 high. That one is 12 high.
Oh my god! So like basically they doubled
progression.
Yeah.
Wow. We need an update tour of your room, buddy.
I got you. I'll do that. I've got four more of the Freedom or of the Sea Serpents.
So how long, you know, like, because I could always remember when I could afford my first Freedom Breeder rack, right? Like, I mean, I think it's a memorable moment for anyone, because it's like, holy shit. Like, it's like when you step up to that next level. But like, you know, spending money on your racks, like when it comes to like spending almost as much money as your powerhouse males and whatever you're buying, like, you know, it's a big move, but it's a move that's important, you know. When did you make that big move, investing in like the rack systems and understanding that part of breeding?
Yeah. Well, when I got my first snake back in 2019, I didn't plan on it becoming what it was. It was more just I wanted a snake for my kids to kind of have as a pet. And then that was February 2019. By the end of the year, I think I had 50 snakes. And so for that first snake, I had like a XPVC rack, just something simple, cheap. And then my very next purchase was a 5540 from ARS.
ARS, damn. And so your room is ran ambient. Like, so what's your ambient in that room? What do you like to run it in?
You know, I used to like really keep track of that when I like 2019, 2020, 2021, trying to keep it around like 78, 80. And now I just don't keep track of it. So the room, if I had to guess, is probably between 76 and 78 at all times.
Yeah. And that's, I mean, once you know your room and it stays within that, and you could also feel a change, then I think it's the beauty about where you live too, you know, like you happen to live in an area where you could kind of make sure the temps are manageable without having to do so much, like, you know, versus people in Maryland or some shit, you know?
Yeah. Very humid down here in Houston. And so I don't have to supplement with any humidifiers or anything like that. It's like pretty much just good. Yeah. I
fight. Both of you guys have me on humidity. You guys don't have an issue with that whatsoever. That's my biggest goddamn fucking Achilles heels over here is humidity, you know?
I'll give you my humidity and I'll deal with the issues with the snakes.
Were you gonna say something, Emilio?
No, go ahead. Yeah, I'm blessed with humidity, bro. No stuck sheds here, ever.
Especially because, like, I get it. Like, especially when we have so many snakes, you know, you see people's collection, you'll see stuck shit on something. Like, it's okay, right? But I can't stand it. Like, I don't. Like, I'll stop what I'm doing just to get a tub and soak it. Which usually when I'm doing something, I'm being timed. Like, I'm like trying to hurry. But
yeah, when I run a lot of heat in the room during the winter. Once in a while I'll get a spot where the shed stayed or something like that, because, you know, the heaters suck the humidity out the room. So, yeah. But that's it.
Yep. No, I mean, a lot of things, no matter where you live, you got to make sure you're dialed in on, right? Have you had a huge learning curve as far as incubating your eggs and getting stuff to come out thriving, or has that always kind of been straightforward for you?
Straightforward, just because I've had some really solid mentors getting into it that I kind of connected with very, very quickly out the gate. And so, you know, with several mentors, they just kind of, you know, made sure that I was good, asked a lot of questions, never was an issue. And so, you know, first season, I mean, my, you know, slug rate, hatch rate is extremely high. It just doesn't happen. The eggs go in, they come out, no issues really.
And it's why, you know, I do kind of feel bad sometimes because I had such a fucking, like, and I wasn't perfect. I remember my incubator, like, I was one of those Snapple fridges that I got from somebody, and the glass door, it was double pane glass. Like, it was like double glass. And of course, me and my dad getting out of a truck, we dropped it, and it fucking, the front of the glass completely shattered. But like I said, the other glass, it was behind it, and it was fine. So I was like, this is the only thing I have, incubator. I'm going to still try to use it. And that thing was, I'll never forget. I was so scared to track the actual fluctuations in there because I knew it wasn't right. So I said, I need to use what I have and see if this works. And it always worked. And I always think that's why my female ratio has always been high, because it's probably been cooked at a weird temp that I have no idea. But man, I got a lot of females in that incubator. I got to tell you, like, I'm not joking. But dude, I'd never had anything with like a lazy eye or a fucking missing bottom jaw. Everything came out so perfect. And I remember cutting early because I didn't, you know, Billy was one of my mentors back then. Yeah, I remember seeing the scissors he would use, and I'm like, all right, if he could do it, I could do it. But anyways, it's just like I always thought, like, it's really hard to fuck up a ball python clutch, but you can't. You can. Here's the thing: don't get it wet, no matter what. You don't want your eggs to get wet.
I was real OCD in the beginning with the incubator. I'm turning it on a month early. I've got sensors on every single shelf connected to my phone, moving the probe around, so putting egg boxes in without eggs, with sensors in the front and back on different levels, just kind of getting prepped prior to the first clutch I ever put in.
That is a good feeling, you know, like knowing eggs are coming, so you just get your egg box ready and stuff like that. It's kind of like preparing for the big day, you know.
Brian, you want to give a shout out to and let us know who were some of those mentors that really helped you out in the beginning?
Yeah, in the very beginning, you know, Dorian with the Royal Clutch was very instrumental. Jonathan, Golden Boy, extremely instrumental.
Two good people.
They're two very close buddies of mine that I've been friends with since the beginning almost. Tim with Alpha Herps, like probably one of the first guys I met. He's up in Northern California.
Who is that? Say that one more time, Brian. I'm sorry.
Tim with Alpha Herps.
Alpha Herps. Okay.
He's just south of San Francisco. Awesome guy, bred for a long time, and really helped me answer any questions that I had. And if I missed anybody, I'm sorry, but just off the top of my head, those three really stand out. In the beginning, I have several since then.
Yeah. Now, who was kind of your biggest influence, like project wise? You know, stuff that you were kind of picking apart from and getting ideas and whatnot.
Yeah. Dorian and Jonathan, absolutely. Wow. In terms of projects, you know, I met both of them pretty much because I was going heavy down the highway and super gravel route, as were they. And so, you know, you just message people off on their posts, you know, kind of hit them up, DM them, talk about what they're working on, and from there, you know, the rest is history.
You got another super gravel lover here.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, I'm obsessed. I mean, that's kind of what connected me and Jonathan for sure. Like, he was always like, he was basically showing stuff that he made that I was just dreaming about, and I'm like, oh my god, like that's what I want to do. And so, like, and he actually helped me big time, man. Shout out to Jonathan, man, Golden Boy. But he sent me shit to like elevate my projects, which now I have some crazy shit because of him. You know what I mean? That I'm going to be breeding this coming year. So it's like, fuck, man. Like, seriously, those are good. Like, having people like that, not that it's hard to find, but holy shit, like that's what it's all about, because they're, you know, they're in a sense, they're not the hugest names, but if you're in the game, you know these names, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they didn't. What I'm trying to say, they don't have to do so much as they're doing for people, but this is kind of what, you know, makes everything grow in a sense. You know, like look what it's done for me, look what it's done for you, right? And I'm sure Emilio too. Like, Emilio, you know what? Hold on, always asks us people who are your mentors. We never ask Emilio really that, have we? Who the fuck's your mentor, Emilio? Who helped you out? I guarantee he doesn't have nobody. Watch.
Ballpythons.net. People I used to watch, Ralph Davis, Amir, Salamani, Mike B, people like that.
Would these guys like tell you, hey, this is a good morph to work with, like give you tips or
No, bro. In the old days, nobody did that.
I figured. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. I mean, I was just obsessed and all up in the shit all the time. You know.
And for you, Brian, where if you wanted to find or be up to date on current projects and what's popping or what's going, if you could kind of take us maybe before social media, before it blew up, where were you going back then?
Back then, like Fauna Classifieds, King Snake, was kind of, I had an account on Fauna Classifieds and just kind of posting there questions, getting help from people. I mean, the knowledge was completely different back then than it was now, but that's kind of where I started.
Hey Brian, but when I used to go to Fauna, it would just go to it would be to go to the BOI to read all the crazy shit.
There's a lot of crazy stuff on there.
Bro, everybody, all of the douchebags and all the really fucked up shit happening across the industry.
Like kind of what happens in Facebook group chats and shit like that now? Like, is it similar?
Yeah,
that
was
like drama, like people fighting and shit like that?
No, that's where everybody that did that was, how can I say this? People that were doing people the wrong way in the industry, that's where everyone reported it, bro.
Oh wow. Damn.
Yeah.
What a time.
Yeah.
But when it comes to looking at snakes and stuff like that, like were you going to shows back then at all, Brian?
Yeah, I would go to. I mean, it's tough to remember back then, but I want to say NARBC in Arlington was around back then, and I definitely went to that. Hamburg Reptile show I grew up going to in Pennsylvania.
Nice.
So that was awesome. I'd be lying if I could remember anything else.
What do you think about Arlington being no longer? That's kind of
kind
of crazy, huh?
Yeah. I actually just vended NARBC Dallas for the first time. I never got to vend Arlington.
Tell me about it. I've been wanting to know details about this show, and no one, for whatever reason, anytime I asked someone, they just told me they went in, they came out. So you vended it. I need to know the vibe. How'd you do? Give us all the details, please.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it might be a different experience than like a tenured show goer, but for me personally, it was my first show. I bought a backdrop, got my displays. I had a great time. My wife and 2 kids came with me. My best friend and his girlfriend flew out from Florida to vend it with me. And so, I mean, it was just awesome the whole time. Had a great time talking to people, interacting, and kind of that first show feeling, so to say. So I had a great time. Sold some snakes, had some great conversations, met some great people. And so I really couldn't say anything bad about it.
That first show, bro, such a good feeling.
Yeah, it was. I didn't sell anything Saturday, so going into Sunday, I'm like, oh man, I just want to sell 1, and I think we ended up selling 5. So it turned out better than expected, and I drove home very happy.
To everyone out there, you could have a terrible first day and kill it on Sunday, or vice versa. So don't get cocky on Saturday if you kill it, because Sunday you might not sell a damn thing.
I mean, dude, here's the thing. Don't get in your head about anything about sales, because in the realization of things, if you set any expectations and you don't sell shit, which is a possibility of you not selling nothing, kind of sucks. You just got to go in there just to have a good time. Like, I think bringing your family is awesome, because it's more about you. It's about them too. Everyone shares that experience. You don't want to be moping and not having a good time. Like, and not only that, like, I'm not gonna lie, man. If I was debating and I'm like, should I buy this snake? And I see a family behind the table, I'm like, I mean, it's going to encourage me to want to give this guy my money in a sense, I'm supporting him and I'm supporting his family. So I'm just saying, good help out there. And I got to say, man, I know there's a lot of guys out there who like to vend and just do that shit solo, but me personally, I cannot vend alone. Like, I need a homie next to me who's vending as well, and then I need a homie who's with me behind. I need a homie who's flying in from Florida, aka Emilio, kicking it. Like, I need a crew, dog. Like, you know what I mean? And it just makes the time go by better, I feel like.
Big time.
But I think that was great. Good thing bringing the family for sure.
Yeah.
How did you feel about your prices and stuff like that? Because I think that's my biggest struggle, obviously, with, having to sell at a show is, you got to be very flexible and super, if not beyond lenient on your pricing, right? Especially because everyone else. But how'd you go about that?
Yeah, I mean, as I had said, first day I didn't sell anything, and I had some drinks with some of the more, seasoned vets in the show industry that night, and they kind of gave me some tips and tricks that I implemented the next day, and they worked very well. And show prices are obviously a little bit better than Morph market, and so did a lot of research beforehand, kind of saw where the market was at. Most of the snakes I brought, I had listed on Morph market, and so I wanted to show kind of an incentive. If you see it on Morph market, it's for $2,000, but a show price is $1,500 type thing, and day 2 kind of marked everything down with a marker. But push comes to shove, if you have I'd rather sell something and send it off than keep it for 6 more months and have it sitting on Morph market. And so if someone was serious and made an offer, I'm not going to not consider it.
Yeah. That's the way.
Yeah. And the way I looked at it too, and I did this a lot in the beginning of me traveling, doing shows. Like I knew hella respectable breeders that were going to be vending this show. So it was such a great opportunity for me to see what these snakes were in person.
Yeah.
And I would make a deal with them right then and there. And then it was like, in a sense, doing it over via the internet, but it's like in person, which is even better because when you do business deals in person, it just kind of makes it more personable. You know what I mean? And not only that, like I said, their animals speak for themselves, right? A good way you're going to understand how someone has their operation is when you see how they vend. Go see their animals. Go see the quality of them. And, you know, and like I said, if you're nobody in the industry, like meaning you haven't really been in here long and not met nobody, that's the way you kind of get your foot in the door, man. Because a lot of these people, like we already mentioned, who vend will kind of get you to that next person who will hook you up. You know, it's like this is a beautiful place about the ball python game. People love hooking each other up because they've been hooked up, and it's kind of like a circular thing that it's good karma too. It's like, I got to tell you, the more you give back, it comes back to you in the ball python game. And I think anything involved in animals is like that, but especially the ball python game. I'm just telling you right now.
Absolutely.
Now, is there any big? Oh, go ahead, Emilio.
Any quick comparisons when it came to size of venue, attendance? Can you kind of break that down since you have been to Arlington a few times?
Yeah.
See there.
It's tough to compare because in Arlington I was as like a spectator, and I don't like to hang out all day. I'll go for a few hours and then I leave. So in terms of like what it was like all day Saturday, Sunday, I couldn't compare because I've never been there both days the whole time. But I feel like Arlington was busier, just to for face value. And I like kind of the layout better of Arlington as well.
Okay.
I like Arlington's hotel. I like the bar. It's good.
Yeah,
Man,
that area is great. Arlington's great. If somehow they could get that area back in that area, it'd be great.
It's not happening from what I heard. There's no way because they're like somebody else like got a contract with them.
Yeah, it's like some art installation or something like that now has the contract.
Man, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know where else to go in Texas. But Texas is such a big state. There has to be somewhere else.
Yeah, there's got to be.
Because I heard Dallas is kind of like sketchy a little bit. Like I heard it's not like the nicest. Like compared to Arlington, especially. Like I heard Arlington's a lot nicer than Dallas. Yeah. Just
especially the area that they had it in. It's not the nicest area, right off the freeway, and just not a nice area. If you're driving farther distances to get there for sure.
And I don't want to scare nobody. Here's the thing. I'm not trying to fucking freak nobody out, but I got people who've been doing this for a long time who I'm very close with. And I've heard stories of motherfuckers casing vendors as they leave, following them to gas stations, straight fucking robbing them. You know what I mean? So like, just always be ready out there first and foremost. Okay. Texas allows you to be ready. So that's a good thing.
Yes, sir.
And so does Florida. Cali, not so much, but stay ready anyways. But yeah, I mean, just a lot of things to consider and think about. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. In life in general.
You
should always be aware.
But, you always think of area first and foremost. No matter where I go, I always think of the area. What area am I going to? You know what I mean? So
yeah,
that's why I always think of that. But.
So, Brian, what do you do, man? Outside of the snakes?
Yeah, it's funny you brought up kind of defending yourself. But I work for a company called U.S. Law Shield, and we're kind of like prepaid legal. We provide legal defense for self-defense. It's the shirt I'm wearing right now, our logo.
Legal defense for self-defense.
Yep.
That's sick. Whoa. Yeah. So I'm just saying, if I ever had to self-defend myself and it's at a show in Houston, you can help me out.
We'll represent you in court criminally or civilly for no attorney fees.
That's hard.
Yeah.
Now I feel more comfortable defending myself. Thank you.
Absolutely. Especially as a Californian. They're against you in that state.
Yeah, no shit. It's crazy. I don't know if it's this law in Texas, and probably not. Texas is what I was saying. But man, I think if somebody robs you in Cali and they get hurt inside your house, you're still responsible taking care of their bills, regardless if they're robbing you or not. You know what I mean? If like they try to run away and they snap their ankle or something happens or they need hospital attention, you're liable for that.
They could sue you civilly in Texas the same as they could California. There's just a better chance of winning in California than Texas.
So what's the best way? I mean, don't mean to get off topic, but what's the best way of dealing with somebody who's robbing you inside your house where you could somehow eliminate them without going to jail?
Yeah. Well, like states like California, you have a duty to retreat, which means if you have to try and flee prior to taking attack or prior to defending your home and your property. In Texas, if someone's in your home, you can use deadly force just for them being in your home. You can defend your property with deadly force in your yard. And so it's just different laws for different states.
This person said dig a hole.
Yeah.
Hey, I've been told inside the house, listen, this is simple for me. I'm in Florida. If you come in my house,
Good. Castle doctor.
Bye.
Florida's people are nuts.
Yeah.
I love them to death. But fuck, dude, Florida is the wild, wild west.
I mean, Texas, we're like
we're like brother states.
Yeah.
It's a lot of the same stuff.
Yeah.
But you ever hear in life in the gang, like, oh wow, that smaller person's crazier because it's the smaller one. That's kind of like this case here. Like Florida's the smaller brother here, like because Texas is huge. So you have bigger state, you have crazier people, right? But not in Florida. Florida's smaller and it's crazier than all of Texas. I'm telling you right now, Florida's a straight it's a real life GTA game. It's GTA was completely influenced and designed off of Florida. It's crazy because I played that game religiously growing up all through high school. And then when I stepped foot in Florida, it was like I was in the video game. Like it was, especially after the things I was seeing on the street. So I was like, holy shit, this is crazy. So, and you got to stay strapped in Florida, huh, E?
I don't carry weapons, bro. The weapons stay in home because I have a really bad temper.
Wow, scary. All right, let's not go there.
Yeah.
Wow. Leave Monsoon alone. I'm just
kidding.
Yeah, if you're gonna go after Emilio, get him outside the home because we know he doesn't carry now.
Yeah.
Yeah, way to go, Emilio.
Yeah. They shoot me in the head. Because it's gonna be bad. Getting back to snakes.
Yeah, please.
Talking some crazy shit. How big is your collection, bro? Like,
yeah.
Where do you see where do you see yourself going with growth and whatnot?
It's so tough to say. Collection size, like 200 animals. But like, where do I see myself going growth wise is so tough to answer. Last season I had, I bred 20 females, 19 laid successfly, hatched successfully. And so it was great. This season, pre-season, if I would have bred everything I could have maxed out at around 55 clutches. I kind of pulled back a little bit and kind of refined some of the directions I wanted to go. Decided to let some females go another season and grow up. And so, I don't know, this season I'll probably have like around 20, 25 clutches, maybe 30, just depending. I kind of waiting for some males to grow up as opposed to just breeding females just to breed them. I've got some younger males that I produced last season that I have some girls reserved for.
That 200, is that with hatchlings or?
Yeah.
Okay.
I got a question for you, Brian. One thing you can't predict or help is, obviously unless you're going visual to visual, but I'm sure you got some head-to-head projects out there, right? So you can't help not hitting visuals, and I know you only want to keep so many hets, right? So what are you doing to ensure that you're not going to create such a crazy overhead for yourself where you'll have a lot of 66% or pos het stuff to sell? Like, do you have a route of wholesaling those, or do you have a certain game plan on letting those go somehow if they get too stacked?
Yeah, I've got a pet store locally that I can offload some snakes to, not in large capacities, not like a PetSmart contract or something like that, but I could take 20 snakes and sell them, for a low price, fair, just to get them gone. But and how to kind of mitigate the 66 or things like that. I feel, last season I had, many, probably 6, maybe 5, 6 of the 19 that hatched were head to head. And so, the monsoons were head to head. I've produced some of the craziest snakes I've hatched, some world's first head to head. And so, it's definitely something that I don't shy away from, but to kind of mitigate that, I kind of really just focused on, purchasing males that would kind of help me get away from any head to head pairings.
No,
I don't know what it was, and I'm sure you guys could help me figure out the correct saying it was on this, but there are people who almost prefer a het to visual, or a certain het to het versus a visual to visual sometimes. Or what was it about that? Does that sound familiar to you guys? Somebody said something about like it's almost like if you can, like it's better going visual to head or something like that for the odds or something. I forget. I don't know.
I don't know.
You're gonna get better odds, but I mean, I think there's lots of guys out there that are gonna continue to go the head-to-head route, especially if they have an animal with 3 genes that are super desirable. And at the end of the day, if you have the space, bro, testing is here, and it's a fucking blessing. I mean, I think, bro, forget it. I mean, I wouldn't say for some pairings and some desirable traits, people are going to continue to do it. Yeah. I know for me, for myself, Brian, I don't know about you, but I know going forward, I won't be selling any more pos heads. Everything that has any value is going to be tested, no matter what. I mean, I just don't understand. I see people trying to sell a $3,000 animal as a 66% head. Why?
Yeah.
Like, why are you doing that? It's $50, bro.
Yeah,
I can understand.
Okay, hold on. I got something to say though. Let's just say it's a normal pos triple head, something, right? You spend how much? $50 to get that test done, right? Or hold on, that's each morph. So obviously you're going to spend more than that, right? So let's say you come back and you strike out on all of them. Now you're at negative with this snake. You know what I mean?
Okay, but what are the odds of selling a pos triple head animal?
What do you mean?
I mean, you're out of gas anyway. You have to test it. Your odds of selling a triple head or a pos triple head are very low. If you test it and it's triple head, you have a much higher chance of selling it.
I'm saying I don't mean to cut you off, Brian, but I'm saying if you hit visuals that you want to hold back and the ones that aren't visuals you don't give a shit about, you're going to spend that much money to like. I figured that that's on them. They should go spend that money. Well, you know what I mean?
Yeah, if someone even looks at it.
You should be pricing it. You should be pricing it like it's 100% head. You have to sell like I would sell it like it's not a head at all. That's the thing. Okay. And they're the ones that win, not me. Like if they.
All right, but what I'm telling you guys is this: in the near future, this season, no one is going to buy anything that's pos head.
Eventually, nobody. Yeah, I think so.
It's just not happening. I don't see it.
But okay, tell us why.
Because it's a waste of time. You're wasting your time.
What about somebody coming in the game and money isn't on their side and they want to try it? You know what I mean?
It would have to be at least double head for something. It can't be 66% triple head. It can't. That's my view. It might be, I don't know. It could sound elitist to some, but I mean, bro, there's gonna be so much of these animals on the market that people are only gonna look at the stuff that's 100%.
What do you guys say, Brian?
I agree with both of y'all. My take on it, and I've had clutches that I tested everything, and I've had clutches that I only tested certain things. And for me, the deciding factor was, if it proves het, does it increase the animal by X amount? And to MJ, you had said if you test a triple and it now you're negative 120 if nothing proves. But for me, I view it as like a whole clutch. So if it's like a head-to-head, I'm testing the whole clutch. I'm viewing it as, if at least 4 of them prove and I sell those 4 for the higher price because they proved, then I'm like net positive, even regardless of the other. So it's kind of an expense that's fine because
it paid for it.
The added value paid for it.
That's smart. That's a smart way to look at it because you're looking at the whole value of the clutch. So, you got some wins, you got some losses.
Yeah. And I think people still sell like pos heads that don't test because, say you could sell, if an animal is 100% head, it might be 3,000. If it's pos head, maybe it's 2,000. And if it doesn't prove at all, maybe it's 17, maybe it's 1,500 or 1,000. And so they'd rather, instead of taking the risk, just get that 2,000 because they're either going to be plus 1,000 or minus 1,000 is why I would guess why some people don't test.
And guess what, guys? It's the cost of doing business, right? I mean,
yeah, but you know what? Also, too, like this, everything you're saying is these are sharp business moves. Like it's kind of like it goes into other plays of why you should look good when you vend. Like, these are things that you should do if you want to run a right business. How many people are really about that life? Okay. And it's growing in the ball python game. But if we really think about the thick of things here, it's a lot of work for these fucking people to do that. You know what I'm saying? So you got some people who are just looking to hit what they want to hit, and the rest is on whoever else buys it. You know what I mean? But then again, if you're really doing it right, you're going to want to know what's what and what's leaving. That's for sure. Especially if you're looking at high-end stuff. But again, it's more work. You know what I'm saying?
I'll test everything higher end. If it's like a $200 animal, I'm not going to test that.
Well, I agree with that. That's going to the pet market.
So look, check out Dale. Shout out to Dale, Constricted Reptiles from Florida. He's not testing most males, double or triple het.
Yeah, but that said, that male is probably going to the pet market. Maybe. That's what I would say.
What's the difference?
Well, I mean, the pet market is, you're going to sell that at a show, and it's going to be a lot less. Your ring is going to be a lot lower for that animal if it's a pos head. That's all I'm saying. The higher end stuff, all of it's going to be tested here. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I'm not saying to test cheap stuff. Pet stuff or lower level stuff. I'm not advocating that.
Yeah.
But the stuff that you want someone to value on your morph market, I feel like it has to be tested. I'm gonna keep saying that till I'm blue in the face, like my shirt.
Baby blue. No, respect. Now, we were talking about your size of your collection. This year you're looking at how many clutches? About just under 30 or 20? How many?
Just under 30, 25, somewhere around there.
And obviously you got a job that you wake up every morning to go to. But let's just kind of like speed things up to a time of your life where maybe you're just solely doing snakes. How like, what's the biggest you could ever visualize you see yourself going? Like, if work wasn't an issue, like no holdbacks, you know what I'm saying? Like, honestly, yourself, what is overkill and what's not at this point. Where do you realistically ever see yourself?
Tough question, but I think, if you're, mindful with your holdbacks and kind of plan ahead and in like an artistic way, so to say. I mean, I think 50 clutches is plenty to, have as a breeder and have it be your full-time job. When you get 100, 200, 300 clutches, it's more just, it's more just power and numbers. Every little bit is adding up to your total lump sum at the end of the year. Whereas, if you've got 50 just really concise clutches, you can really maximize the quality and the cost of animals you're producing.
Now, obviously feeding's a whole nother, chunk of the game plan that you need to have down to be successful in any kind of breeding, right? What has worked for you overall? Like what have your, what's your routine as far as when it comes to feeding a baby ball python all the way to your adults? Like, what do you like to do?
First meal I'll typically do, I breed mice, ASF, and rats. And so first meal I'll do a mouse hopper. And then from then on, it's it just depends really. If it's a animal for sale and it's like a lower value animal, I'll keep it on mice until it's sold. If it's a higher value male, like a Monsoon I'm selling, first meal is a mouse. And then just like my holdback, second meal on are rats. ASF, I typically will only, that's like a last case scenario. I'm going to feed an animal what it wants to eat. And so if a male's on strike during breeding, I'll throw them an ASF, and typically they're ASF eaters the rest of their life. Babies, I'll feed every 5 days until they get a good size on them. Adults, every 7 to 10 days.
When do you switch over from 5 days to 7 days? Like at what point in the snake's life?
It just depends. Again, if it's a higher value holdback that I want to get size on a little bit faster, I might keep it on 5 days longer than something that's a little bit lower value, but maybe 300 grams. I might switch over to every 7 days around there.
I'm not going to lie. The whole fucking 5 days thing it fucks you up, man, when you're not used to it. Cause I've been so 7 days a week, like once 7 days a week for so long, but obviously paying attention and hearing on how people get these things to beast out quickly their first year. You got to go every 5 days for sure. But it's just, I got a lot going on here. So it's like, fuck, like doing that. Like I'm good, but then sometimes you just think, oh, hey, I just do it once a week. So it is something you do have to get down and just kind of get used to right off the bat. Amelia, do you do that with your up and comers? Your once every 5 days as well, right? Or no? Or once every 7?
It depends on the animal. Yeah, like Brian was saying, sometimes I'll do it twice a week for certain animals. But typically, I will say I the 5 to 7 day range is correct. But again, I might do it like that a couple weeks. I might do a couple weeks of 5 day and then a couple weeks of 7 and then go back and forth and then sometimes go twice a week. It just depends on body composition, how much the snake is adding in weight, how well it's growing. Sometimes their character, their feeding habits, how aggressive they are. That little look they give you when you come in the room. I love that shit. When they figure it out, that's like the best.
It is. I'm
wondering what's making, obviously the more you have clutches each year, you have more odds of dealing with stuff you haven't dealt with before. I've been hatching out some psychotic ball pythons lately, man, and I'm like, whoa, like fucking freaking out. Like I'm talking about like almost lunging at you so hard where they like ricochet off the tub and they almost fall out. Like, you guys, is there a certain genetic out there you think, or is there anything out there that you guys worked with to see what makes certain baby ball pythons psychotic?
My monsoons, both seasons were just nuts. Some of the most aggressive snakes I've ever hatched. My daughter, who's 3.5, she's been bit twice. First time was monsoon first season. Second time was one of the baby monsoons second season. So they were just nuts. They've all calmed down now.
I heard Puzzle's nuts. I heard Puzzles are fucking pretty crazy from what I've heard.
That's what they say, but mine are pretty chill.
Yeah. My two are chill. Not chill. My male's starting to hiss a little bit here and there, but he's never bit me. He's never been crazy. He eats like there's no tomorrow. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I have a my most psychotic ball python is a lace, and
yeah, I saw her.
Weirdo, dude, like upset. I don't know what. And then I remember, that was from Joel Woolsey from State 48, and he showed me all the babies, and they're all psychotic like that. So I don't know. I think some clutches just are more heat than others. That's just kind of all it comes down to. Yeah. See, look, shout to Lenny. Lenny's saying confusions are aggressive, which I know some of you. Have any of you hatched out any confusions yet?
I've got a few confusions, a couple acids, and all of them are pretty tame.
Yeah, mine is too. Mine is calm. I have a clutch coming this season, but I haven't hatched any yet.
Now, I'm curious, is there anything you worked with, Brian, that had 2 names?
A hurricane.
Like
that. Well, nice. now we know. Hurricane, it's proven it's a trick, but
it's hurricane.
Acid. I've got animals I've purchased acid. I've got animals I've purchased confusion. I think that's about it. I guess the only 2.
So what are you doing then if you produced confusion / acid? Is that how you're labeling it, or are you just sticking to one or the other? Like if it's an acid, you're calling it an acid. Like what do you do?
If I bought it as a confusion, all hatchlings are confusion, and same for acid.
So just to be sure, just to clarify, you cannot make an acid confusion is what you're telling me.
I wouldn't. I'm not going to do that, but I don't really see the problem.
And this, as much as we got down the hurricane thing, it's same thing with acid confusion. Like they're not 2 different genes, or they are 2 different genes.
It's not genetic yet, to my knowledge, because they're static too. I think in that same tree.
I could be wrong. Dale's in the chat. Dale might kill me for this, but I feel like confusion and acid are identical.
See, and you know what? If I was Dale, I'd be fucking pissed off that you said that. Not like only because of the circumstances. You're only speaking facts on how you feel, but I'll never forget finding out acid through Josh Jensen, and then it was Dale. And I became a huge fan of Dale because of his acid, right? Mm-hmm. Now, with him having the acid that he has, and then now it's supposedly something else, but that would piss me the fuck off.
It shouldn't piss Dale off because supposedly confusion is hotter in the market, and it shouldn't be because they're the same thing, in my view. Okay,
so how
and that's the next. That's gonna be the next domino, in my view, is shed testing. It's going to be the next domino.
Dell's betting on it being the same thing. Okay, so if it's the same thing, what do we do? Can we drop a name? I think Acid's way harder of a name, personally.
I like the Acid name.
But what do we do? Seriously, because I think confusion is confusing things. I think it needs to go if that's the case. I think if the test comes out and it's the same, confusion needs to fucking go. And it just, your confusion's now Acid. Congratulations, you're a druggie. I'm just kidding. No, I'm just saying. For reals though, what do we agree with here? What I mean, can we?
I think we just decided. I think we just decided right here.
But you're cool with that, Darian. That's gonna have to be a Darian episode.
So Brian, somebody who has confusion, you would be cool with that if this is what everyone was talking about. You'd be like, all right, fuck it, just I'll call my shit Acid. You'd be cool with that.
It's the same animal.
There you go. Please start
getting guys. There's gonna be a bunch of stuff coming soon that's gonna be the same.
I can't wait. And
I got Acid from Dale.
I think every episode that's the case. We get Darian on here and we all agree, whoever pulls up, to like, dude, that's kill this shit and get it out of Morph Market immediately. Or just turn it to whatever we're agreeing it to with. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That would be
by the way, kudos to Dale. He's got some badass Acid. I love
Dale
it.
does. Man, I've been a huge fan of Dale for years. Dale's fucking on his game with that shit. And I'll never forget the Acid Het Clown that he showed off on my show years back. Blackest, coolest looking fucking thing I've ever seen. So anyways.
You know what he's also got? He's got Fire Gravel. I've got some amazing gravel female that's just produced the best looking gravels in my collection.
Damn. Now, one thing I noticed is you got pavement shit going. That's my thing. I love pavement. But don't you agree that for anyone out there who's looking to build anything, how important do you think, Brian, these incomplete dominant recipes are to be added in any recessive project? Like, how deep should someone consider these incomplete dominants right off the bat? I'm not talking about later after you produce your first recessive. I'm talking about from the beginning. Am I right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you can't just have recessive animals. I mean, sure, you can make Hypo DG clowns and they look great, but that only lasts for so long. I mean, DG clown, you couldn't get one 2 years ago, and now they're everywhere at a price substantially less. And so you have to be thinking next level and kind of thinking 5 years, 10 years. I've got like 10-year projects in my mind, longer when you're getting into the triple recessive and quad recessives. And so you have to, if you want to be successful, think ahead.
What's one of your favorite go-to supers right now that's not asphalt or that's not gravel? Like, let's bring it. Yeah, because I mean, obviously we could go all day talking about that, but there are plenty of other incomplete dominants that are so powerful in a super form, obviously.
Yeah.
What are some other ones that you're thinking of, or what other ones that you're pretty confident?
Yeah. Super Hurricane, I'd say, comes to mind.
Oh, nice. I haven't heard about that yet. Finally.
Hayabusa. Yeah.
Hayabusa. That's what it's called.
Hayabusa.
Yeah.
You haven't made those yet?
No, I've only got a couple Hurricane girls and no males with Hurricane, so that's kind of just getting going.
That's automatic. Super chocolate, by the way, automatic.
Super
chocolate,
absolutely.
Super fire.
I got a question for everybody out there.
Super Wookie.
What should we name the super trick?
Oh, maybe
Super puta.
GSXR.
What is that?
How about Super Hans?
Yeah.
Super Hans.
Oh man.
Just kidding.
No,
yeah, Super Chocolate, Super
you said Super Wookie. I heard you can't do that.
Can you not?
I don't know. Somebody told me that you can't do that. It's like there's Super Wookiees out there. All right.
That's another domino.
Yeah. And I can't even really think of any off the top of my head. The Hurricane's definitely probably the number one.
Hey guys, tell me if I'm wrong. A super chocolate clown might be the best super with clown I've ever seen.
Depends, because Super GHI clown is nuts too. So I've seen it depends.
GHI too. Yeah.
It really depends, but I already knew off the bat Super chocolate everything in any recessive that you're doing, and you're going to be happy. I'm more confident about Super chocolate than I am Super GHI. For just I don't know why, just as far as whatever reason, but because one thing like Super GTI is a powerful G, like that shit takes over the darkness, like really unpredictable shit. But I think all Super Chocolate does is whatever it is meant to be dark. I don't think it spreads, it just enhances. I don't know. I just think I could be wrong though. I'm just telling you, I love chocolate stuff, period. Super Chocolate, I love even more.
I'm kicking myself for not having that.
Super Chocolate Hypo. I love
Yes.
those. They look great.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God, you kidding me? That's like cookies and milk right there. That's a combo and a half. Now, speaking of Hypo, what did you start collecting first? Was it DG or Hypo?
Between those two,
Keep it real, bro.
DG.
All right.
This is Clown, DG, Hypo.
Do you remember what it was back then about you choosing DG over Hypo?
I think it was just, I was Clown for years, and then I'm like, oh, I fucked up. Like, I should have been buying DG this whole time. And then, kind of the same realization with Hypo, because in 2019, it was just Clown-centric, and then DG kind of became more prevalent, and then Hypo became more prevalent, and then I'm kicking myself, wishing I would have invested in Hypo, 5 years prior.
That's everybody. Don't feel bad.
Yeah.
But, God bless Hypo for saving DG. I'll tell you that much. Because what makes DG relevant is Hypo.
Yeah, it's probably my favorite double recessive is DG Hypo.
You can only go so far with DG without Hypo. And then once holy shit, I'm getting left behind, you got to add Hypo. Once you add Hypo, it changes everything. So I think DG owes a lot to Hypo, because if we were talking about all the, that type of game, I think Hypo's king in that world, other than Pied. Before Emilio gets on me about that.
No, I'm. When you put the pet angle into it, yes, Pied. I say Pied is king, right?
Yeah.
But when you put in the investment and the combos, the investment animals, in my view, DG Hypo's the best base right now.
Yep.
100%.
That's facts. I mean, if you look at anything that DG's in, put Hypo in it, and look how much it looks better.
Yeah.
For sure. And I'm talking age first and foremost, right? Like, you got so many people out there who don't look past the first couple years. I want my snake to look popping in fucking 10 years. Like, I'm tired of like this whole fucking blow up about a snake's first year of its life, and then that's all you get to enjoy. Nah, fuck that. With certain combinations, you could have these things actually aging better. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you know what you're fucking doing out there, you'll know DG needs Hypo. And if not, you're fucking clueless.
It does. Got to shout out White Lace for supers.
White Lace. Oh my, yes. I was so blown away that when I found out that White Lace was not a recessive. I did not know that. Because you look at it. I remember seeing a White Lace clown at Justin's, and he compared a White Lace clown to a DG clown. And this White Lace clown smoked the DG clown out of the water. I couldn't believe it. They were both adults. You know what I mean? DG clown still looked pretty, but it was nothing compared to this White Lace. I'm telling you.
Now, I slightly disagree with you, MJ. I still like a DG clown better than a White Lace clown. But when and now it's not fair of me because I'm comparing a combo, right?
Right, but have you seen both in person?
No, I haven't seen them in person. In the pictures, I say I still give it to DG clown though. I have to see them in person. I'm with you. That's fine. But a White Lace, and again, it's a combo, right? A White Lace yellow belly is gonna blow away in my view, any DG combo. Like a simple DG combo. I don't know what you guys think about that. I mean, I love White Lace yellow bellies, bro. They're incredible.
Oh yeah. I produced a bunch of lace yellow belly combos this season.
I'm not gonna lie, yellow belly's always got my way. I just, because I'm a super asphalt, super gravel guy, and why the fuck do I want yellow belly? And you know what I mean? But also when you look at combinations, you know that you can't forget about yellow belly. Obviously, yellow belly it's an importance. I don't know. I've never seen a White Lace yellow belly. I know that you have a male White Lace yellow belly, right, Emilio?
Yeah, he's incredible. Incredible. The snake is incredible.
Right.
Yeah.
So what direction are you looking to put a White Lace yellow belly? Don't say Pied. Please don't say Pied.
Well, yeah. With the Pieds that Justin hit, I have to put it to Pied.
What Pied did he hit? I want to look that up. Which one are we talking about?
There were White Lace No, they were lace yellow belly pies, and then he hit it with
I'm gonna
clown.
look.
They were freaking incredible. When I saw that, I bought my white lace yellow belly immediately, and then I'm gonna put it to exantic stuff, to clown stuff. You know, my exantic clown stuff. It's gonna go to everything exantic in my collection.
Okay,
I love it.
I don't see any white lace. I gotta see this. Is there any white lace yellow belly pied stuff on? Because the only thing that I'm thinking about is like white lace, like making it really difficult to ID anything in pied.
Bro, they're incredible snakes. When you see them, they're mind blowing.
Hey, if anyone could get me a picture, please send it to my DMs. Trap Talk God 619 on Instagram. Please send me a photo of this white lace yellow belly pied.
No, I don't think they were. I don't think they were white lace. They were lace yellow belly clown pied and lace yellow belly pied. They were incredible. They look like freaking lava.
So really, you're taking a gamble then, because you don't know what the white lace is going to really do. It could change everything, right? Because super form could do that, and no matter what the super form is,
I would say it's going to look better.
And how far are you from hitting something like that?
Oh, my boy didn't breed this year, so I'm behind.
Okay, I really want to fucking see this thing.
Yeah,
interesting. It's what makes everything we do interesting, you know. But also, let me ask you about pied, Brian, because I'm like I'm so bipolar with pied, man. I love it, and then I don't love it, because I just know we could be talking about cool ass genetics, and just how Monsoon and Pastel aren't the go-to. You got to be careful with pied. I think if you hit the right thing in pied, and you don't have to scratch your head, you did good. But there's a lot of things I feel like no matter what you're trying to hit in pied, you're going to scratch your head about, because pied could do that. It's not. You got the high whites, the mids, the lows, and all that sorts. But what's your take on pied?
I don't really work it. I've got I think I've got 3 pied females. I've got a clown pied, I've got a YB dreamsicle, and I've got a OD fire VPI exanthic pied, and they're all I got them all specifically for the Monsoon project.
Is there anything?
That's my opinion.
Is there anything you're not putting in pied?
Anything other than Monsoon. I'll probably move them out after I might keep them just to take some of the males that I hold back to moms, but I don't really have plans for it outside of that project.
Now, any recessive projects you are like working your way up to right now, like ones that maybe aren't ready this year, but we're talking maybe next year, the year after?
Like recessive plus codon projects, or just
like that, like kind of like we're talking the future of things here.
Hypo, DG puzzle. I've got a puzzle head. I've got a DG head puzzle male. That's he's about 600 grams. He could breed. He's like 10 months old. I've thrown him in a couple of times, no locks, but so that'll be for sure next season, if not this season. But I'm really working hard towards redhead hypo clown. And so that should be a few seasons off. Hopefully hitting some redhead clown head hypos this season.
Dude, fucking redhead, man. Holy shit. Shout to okay, I guess it's not, how do you pronounce his name? It's not Mats. I was saying Mats. It's Mates, I think. I don't know. I'm gonna call him Mats.
High Coast
Mats. But that dude showed us a fucking redhead that he hit, and I was so blown away about that gene, dude. And I kind of saw it floating around and whatnot, but when I saw it not in person, but when I saw it on his reel, I was fucking like, holy shit. How long has it been since redhead's been in your collection, and what do you overall feel about the redhead project and whatnot?
Yeah, I saw the one of the snakes I sent y'all as my top 3: redhead, hypo clown, spot nose, red stripe something, at Arlington as a hatchling. I don't know what year, maybe 2020. And then, the next month I bought a redhead, spot nose, fire, red stripe from Justin. And then he just produced amazing animals for me. I kept several female holdbacks, a couple male holdbacks, an insane male that's breeding this season, just locked a female for the first time. And so probably I got in, maybe not, I don't know, 2022, maybe. First season was last season. I produced my first redhead het clowns.
Dude. And that's an incomplete dominant, just to verify.
Yeah, I believe there's a super. I saw someone said there's a super. I don't know. I haven't seen it personally.
I mean, I think if we're gonna get close to a red snake, it's gonna be that fucking gene. I think that's from what I've seen. That thing turns a snake red.
Because Matt's snake is super red. I I mean,
dude,
that thing is dope.
I couldn't believe what I was looking at. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. It's been a while since a ball python gene's done that. You know.
Yeah.
It's probably my favorite non-recessive. I'd say if I had to pick one.
Mm. Now, you know, if it comes down to you picking, I guess, one show, right? And what I mean by that, at some point when you get your vending game up and whatnot, you know, you're going to be looking at some of these bigger shows that are kind of around the country. You know, you have Tinley, you have Daytona, you have Reptile Super Show. If you have the stuff to lay on the table and it was that big for you, what would be a huge bucket list show for you to vend at?
You know, I've never been to any other show outside of NARBC or outside of Texas, Dallas, Arlington. If I had to pick one of those, Reptile Super Show, Tinley, or Daytona, I'd probably go Daytona just because it's in Florida. You know, I know Tinley's like hyped up; it's like the biggest. But if I had to pick, I'm going to go Daytona.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm looking forward to Daytona. I mean, be my first Daytona this year. Really looking forward to it. Daytona's how far from you, Brian?
I don't know, maybe 12 hours. We can long.
Now, does traveling with that many animals scare you?
No, it was pretty easy. I mean, it was very, very chill. You know, I had a lot of trepidation going into it, but once the van was packed and, you know, we were on the road, there was, you know, no stress. It was good.
Epic. What were you gonna say, Emilio?
Daytona is dope. The overall, you know, the beach, the Hilton, you know, the Ocean Center, it's amazing, right? It used to be the best show, but I will say this: Tinley's another animal, bro.
Tinley's the Super Bowl, man. It's nuts.
Yeah, Tinley is. I don't know if it's how tight it is. I mean, man, it's amazing, bro. Amazing. I love Daytona. Don't get me wrong, but Tinley's Tinley now, man.
That's one location I pray that never changes is that place because it's like so nostalgia and it's like it's something you never forget and like you just feel so many like wow, like when you just walk into a Tinley for the first time, you're like, oh my god, like it's like the Disneyland of reptile shows. It's kind of like you just feel special in there. You know what I mean? Then it gets a little too much and you got to get the fuck out of there. I don't do too well with like shoulder to shoulder type shit, and Tinley could get shoulder to shoulder big time. It gets popping in there quick, and that's obviously great for the vendors, right?
I mean, I'll skip whole tables if it's you know, vendor to vendor, just because I'm not going to stand there and wait to walk up and see snakes.
Yeah. All right, well, check it out. Wrap up question time before we hit you with some hot seat questions here, Brian. Obviously, from what I can tell, man, you definitely dialed in. You've had your share of getting mentorships and experiencing, like taking advice from people. And one of the biggest influences for people watching this show are people just coming into the game. And so there's definitely somebody out there who probably has a single rack or is looking to grow at some point, but not too sure when to do that or when it's appropriate. Either their life doesn't feel right or maybe their finances or whatever. But when you have someone who loves this as much as we all do, when do you feel like someone should give it a go and see if they're meant for breeding or even starting a brand and taking it to that level? Like when would you encourage someone to go and try it out?
If it's just a passion and they love doing it and they go into it not expecting it to pay the bills or to even be self-sustaining, I mean, go into it without the thought that you're going to recoup any money, just do it because you love doing it, then, you know, by all means, I think that's the time to jump in.
All right, Emilio, what you got for him, bro?
All right, man. Where's the WhiteHart Reptiles gonna be in 5 years? What's your vision? What do you see where do you see yourself in 5 years?
5 years, an industry name.
Ooh, damn.
Well on your way, bro. You're there. Yeah, you're getting there.
Thank you.
Yep. I can tell you this. Pretty sure the next time you'll be on the show, it's not going to be on a Monday night. So, and I'm looking forward to it. Like I said, it was really awesome to kind of dive a little deeper versus what I've been researching you on. And props to Emilio for putting me on. And, you messaged me a long time ago, actually, And my God, I've come a long ways, and I'm sorry. I was kind of a dick to him. I'm going to be 100%. He was trying to crack a joke and break the ice and just be nice by asking me why I put, I think back then I put a turtle sticker on my box, and I was getting a lot of people telling me, oh, why are you doing that? And I'm like, whatever, dude, fucking, I think turtles are more appealing, and someone's not going to kick a box if they see a live turtle. And so I never knew this guy, and I had no idea where he was coming from. And I was so short, and I don't know what I said. I do know, but I just want to say I'm sorry. And I'm so happy you're here. And it was cool to actually get to know your position here in the reptile game and in the industry. And you're fucking very relevant. And it's cool to see where you're headed. And it was all because of Emilio bringing you to the forefront. And for sure, this was a great episode. So thank you for coming by, man. But we got hot seat questions for you. You're going to leave just like that. All right. So
I appreciate it. Thanks, man.
Not that you have a choice, but are you cool with these hot seat questions? Are you cool if we hit you with these?
Yeah. I don't know what to expect. Let's do it.
You're gonna be all right, man. All right, listen, everyone out there who enjoyed this man's episode, get the likes up. Let's hit the like button right now. Hot seat question coming in hot for Brian over at WhiteHart Reptiles. You ready or what?
I'm ready.
All right, and then we end this in style with Emilio's hot seat.
So this is just immediate answers, or?
Yes, as quick as you possibly can. That's if you want to be super player about this, you don't take your time. It's right off the top. All right. But if you really have to think about it, listen, everyone has to be every now and then. All right, here we go. Hot seat questions coming in hot. Let's go. Frozen thought or live?
Live.
A cut or no cut?
No cut.
Red Chondro Neo or yellow Chondro Neo?
Red.
Pre-first shed meal or post-first shed meal?
Post first shed meal.
First thing you would research on Morph Market if you were to start all over again?
DG Hypo.
What a respectable answer. That was so honest. I love that. Sorry, moving forward. Yay imports or boo imports?
Yay imports. One
reptile you would love to import to your collection anywhere around the world, what would it be?
Bolin's python.
Yeah, I like this guy. This guy has style for sure. Yay sports or boo sports?
Yay sports.
Favorite sport?
To play, or I don't know, football.
Football, okay. Favorite NFL team?
Lions.
Detroit Lions. All right.
Detroit.
Favorite Lions player of all time? I hope you're going to say who I think you're going to say. Who's your favorite Lions player of all time?
My era, Calvin Johnson, Megatron, but Barry Sanders.
Okay, all right. Give it to Barry Sanders. I would hope you at least acknowledge the man. That's all I care
Absolutely.
about.
Best running back of all time. I don't care about no rushing record.
He is the best of all time.
Bro, you're a Raider and you're saying that? Alan Marcus? Are you
Marcus Allen? Marcus Allen ain't fucking with Barry Sanders, bro.
Oh, I guess you're right. Keeping it 100. All right, how about this? To spray or mist a ball python, or to never spray and mist a ball python?
Spray and mist.
Perfect. Steak or fish?
Steak.
Favorite cut of steak?
Oh, man. Prime rib.
Nice. Yay alcohol or boo alcohol?
Yay alcohol.
Favorite alcohol beverage?
Bourbon.
Ooh, nice. All right. Okay, hold on. West Coast rapper, East Coast rap?
West Coast rapper.
Favorite West Coast rapper of all time?
Oh, man. Snoop Dogg.
Oh, yeah. Like this guy. All right. Little word association. Say the first thing to come to mind. You ready? Milk.
Chocolate.
Cocoa.
Fiber.
Stuck shed.
Mist.
Favorite incomplete dominant?
Redhead.
Least favorite incomplete dominant?
Spider.
One recessive you'll never work with?
Sunset.
Instagram trolls?
No.
One more time. One recessive you'll never work with?
Sunset.
Damn. Never say never.
Okay, last. That was so great. Last, before you go to Emilio. First thing to come to mind. Coolest reptile podcast in the world?
Trap Talk.
Woo! Go ahead, Emilio.
All right, man. I added one because of your, what you do for a living, okay? If I'm way off on the second gun, let me know. One's got to go. Glock or Springfield?
Springfield.
All right, I kind of knew that, but...
This guy's on it, bro.
All right. This one might hurt a little bit, but one's got to go. Super chocolate Hypo DG Clown. Red Stripe Spot Nose Hypo Clown. or Super OD Yellow Belly Cypress Clown? One's got to go.
The Cypress Clown.
Yeah.
All right.
Peace.
And then this one's not the easiest to answer, okay? You're going to start a base, a pretty significant base in your collection. DG or Hypo?
Oof.
DG.
Oh, you tried.
Okay.
Honestly, listen. This guy did so well tonight. I let him live. He's fine. I think, first and foremost,
that might be the toughest question across the board for the whole industry.
I think at the end of the day, it's choice. And you know what? This man knows what the fuck he wants. He said it. He laid it down. I ain't going to challenge that whatsoever. Because I feel like this, right? There's different types of chocolate out there. But if you like chocolate, you like chocolate. I think we're just talking about different types of chocolate here, right? Not too far off. But Hypo is more milk chocolate, and I think DG is more dark chocolate. I'm just saying, like in a sense. But either way, dude, great episode tonight. All right, we just had shy of 100 people tapped in. So what do you have to say to all the love and support you had on tonight's show, my man?
I appreciate it, everybody. Shout out Josh, my Zia Slow, Mike, Ramery's Royals. I saw a lot of buddies on. Mike, Mile High. Appreciate everybody.
And for people to be tapped in and just be on top of everything you have going on, you would say Instagram's the best place for that, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, yeah. And that's WhiteHart Reptiles, guys. Check them out. You can find the link in the description below. But, man, that's a wrap. Give it up. It's my homie Brian, WhiteHart Reptiles. Give it up, ladies and gentlemen.
Thanks, everybody.
Hey, bro, have a good night. Man. Thank you so much, Brian. Have a good night, bro.
Y'all too.
Peace. Damn, man. Walter Payton, Bo Jackson. There's some other ones that we kind of forgot about, but Barry Sanders, man. If you really want to be realistic, nobody's fucking with Barry Sanders.
If he would have played his full career, he would have destroyed the record books.
Yeah.
The excitement that guy had, the juking. He played with a terrible offensive line. Terrible team. Sorry, Detroit fans, but they're terrible. Yeah. Hey, listen. Without getting too deep into football, right. The Detroit Lions retired 2 players prematurely. They're 2 best players of all time. Barry Sanders and Megatron. Both players retired prematurely because of the Detroit Lions. That's a fact.
Damn. Well, that just got dark.
Yeah. Yeah. Yo, I can't wait to meet Brian on one of these shows.
Yeah.
And get to really, meet some of the people we bring on New Breed on the Block. It's gonna be great.
Looking forward to it, man. I had a good show. Had a good time tonight here on the show. What do you have to say to everyone who tapped in tonight, bro?
Oh, thank you for the support. Trap Talk Reptile Network for the win, bro. All day, every day.
Every Monday you can catch me and my man here, and I gotta say, please go follow him on Instagram, Bill Areno Reptiles. Subscribe to the Instagram chat that he has going on. Great place to learn, and I appreciate your support as always, big dog. Enjoy the rest of your night, but give it up for Big E, Top G, Bill Areno Reptiles, ladies and gentlemen.
Good night, everyone.
Hey, bro, have a good night. Thank you so much. Great episode, everyone. Brian, good shit. Awesome times. Thank you to everyone who tapped in, all the viewers, everyone in the chats. This was great. Good energy. I loved it. If you enjoyed it, get the likes up. Please hit the subscribe button and then be ready for tomorrow's All in the Tree Tuesdays. We're going to be covering Amazon tree boas. One of the best doing it in the Amazon tree boa game, the guy named Rory from Canopy Exotics. Canopy Lab Exotics? Canopy Lab Exotics. I guess this guy's really hard to get a hold of, and he's coming to the show tomorrow, so be ready, especially if you're in the Amazon tree boa game. You're not going to want to miss this episode. All right, Cush's Corner on Wednesday, Trap Talk with MJ on Thursday. Thank God it's Colubrid Fridays, and then Saturdays. Wait, hold on. You guys want to know what's happening Saturday? Oh, I'm so excited to share this. Hang out. Hold on. Be ready. It's going to be heavy because we all know Uncle Mike. Shout out to Uncle Mike, Stefani, and then his co-host, Jen Black. All right. They're going to be bringing someone so legendary this Saturday. You're not going to miss it. Who's it going to be? Tom motherfucking Crutchfield. That's right. Tom Crutchfield's finally coming to the trap, all because of Uncle Mike and Jen. Happening this Saturday. You don't want to miss this. This dude's a legend. Been around for a long, long time. Only can imagine the story is going to be going down Saturday for all monitor talk. So thank you for anyone who hangs out and anyone who supports. It's going to be going down. But thank you so much for enjoying and hanging out for episode 492. It's a wrap. WhiteHart Reptiles. See you guys here tomorrow, and I'm out.